Hi everyone, Samek Learners Evolution. It's George Shrapnell here, one of the associate young composers for Samek Learners and Samek Music. You can see it looks like I'm sat in a forest. I'm actually sat in Finsbury Circus, which is one of the very few little green spaces that there are in Moorgate in the City of London. Obviously Moorgate being where Guildhall School of Music and Drama is based, and just on having a bit of a lunch break, so I thought I'd come and just chat here very quickly about a piece that I wrote for Chris Jolly and Victoria Samek during the lockdown. It was a duo piece for tenor saxophone and bass clarinet. Slightly sort of interesting combination of instruments, but works very well, and I think sort of share similar characteristics while also having very, very different sounds. The piece was called Hanging in the Balance, which was essentially written to reflect the mood at the time. We were all sort of stuck in a bit of a lockdown, and it wasn't very nice for any of us. We were all literally hanging in the balance. But the piece itself was actually written to a silent film. So no music, I created the music, no spoken word. Everything was done based on actions. And obviously with silent films we all know that actions are very big gestures in order to convey the point. So I had to create something that musically emphasised those points and feelings. And obviously knowing how Chris and Victoria play and how they like to play and what they find interesting as players, I tried to use to my advantage. I gave Chris a small bit of improvisation at the start, and Victoria has some wonderful bass clarinet lines, really sort of driving the piece forward. And the other thing that I was meant to say, which I think is one of the reasons why I've popped on here today, is just to say as a sort of tip, really, if you're struggling, if you're composing anything and you're finding it hard to sort of get the piece off the ground, this conception of what you might write, don't sort of just always think in terms of manuscript paper, or just sitting at a piano thinking, oh gosh, I can't think of any notes to write. Sometimes if you draw inspiration from something like a silent film, it can be very rewarding actually, and you could find yourself going in a different direction to what you would have done had you just sort of sat down for 3 hours whacking your head trying to think of an idea. Silent film can and things like that can give you scenarios in which provoke an expression, an emotion, a scene that befits a certain style of music or melody. I think that really helped me when I wrote this duo actually. The duo is going to be made available. Sadly we're not allowed to use the film for copyright reasons, but I think it would be great for you to listen to the film and kind of work out what sort of scenes were unfolding on the silent film as I was sort of answering it in my musical way in the composition. So it was a great experience to write that, especially in a lockdown when everything was virtual. It was recorded virtually, stitched together. We were having conversation with myself and Victoria and Chris about the duo. So it just goes to show that even in times of real difficulty we can still make and perform music, and that was probably one of the very few good things that came out of the lockdown, I think. So I hope that's been informative, and I look forward to coming on here again and giving another talk soon. Take care, bye bye.